everybody, and welcome back to Phandalin by Night. It is actual literal nighttime outside where I am, and I am super stoked because I am 4 hours ahead of our Pacific time players. So welcome. It has been a couple of weeks. We had a Halloween episode and then we were away last week, but we are so excited to be back with you. And I personally am excited to kill players with a Nothic because I've never done that before. So before I get into that though, let me go around and get everybody to introduce themselves, and then I have a couple of announcements and then we'll jump in. So Naja.
Hey everyone, I'm Najra. I play Jart Shidei, the Fire Genasi monk that hopes she doesn't die today.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Above Najra, we have Amanda.
Hi, I'm Amanda. I play Whimsy, the tiefling bard with debt, or not bard, that's Denny. Sorry, warlock with daddy issues. I know who I am. It's fine. Don't worry about me.
And yeah, also no guarantees. Above Amanda is Sarah.
Hey, my name is Sarah. I will be playing Graja Ragerock, the half-orc barbarian, she, her for the both of us. And with my new goblin friend Droop, I am unstoppable.
Oh, I love Droop so much. There's so much good lore about Droop in the universe. So I love it. And we go around to Mike.
Hi, Mike. He, him. I am playing Sangane, he, him, and I really want to know what's in the box.
I am super stoked to maybe share that if you can survive. We are missing Nikki, who plays Denny, our warlock bard. And we are very much missing, very much. No, did I say warlock bard?
Yep. Sorry, I screwed everything up by getting
Tiefling bard, our tiefling bard.
Close enough.
We are very much missing Nikki, and we are excited to have our full crew back next week. And okay, announcements. I have two announcements that I want to make. First is that on Saturday the 27th, does that sound right? Saturday the 27th, our channel here, Vancouver by Night, is hosting a 24-hour charity stream for Extra Life. I will be DMing. I'm starting us off that morning, actually, at 9 a.m. Pacific. I am DMing a one-shot for the family and friends of our D&D players. So Sarah's husband will be joining us. My husband will be joining us. Steve, who is our channel owner and plays in our Tuesday night game, his wife, who also plays on our channel in the vampire games, she'll be joining us. Belle Cher's husband, Lodane, will be joining us. And then from our Tuesday night game, one of the players, Jazz, and her dad will be joining us. I'm super excited for that. So I will see you all, obviously Tuesdays and Sundays, and then for that very special charity stream that we're super excited about, and it will go a full 24 hours. So tune in anytime, all day long, and we're raising money for the amazing Extra Life charity. The other thing that I wanted to announce is, I don't know, one of the more surreal things that has happened to me, which is that we have merch. We have merch, you guys. Like we know that we've had the Whimsy No shirt, but like Whimsy No, like that's like a shirt that has been around. No, we actually have like a Phandalin by Night t-shirt now, which is crazy and surreal. And if I ever see you in the wild wearing it, I will tackle you and sign it, whether or not you want that. So just be prepared, because this is awesome and crazy. And so you can go to the Threadless website and go pick one of those up for yourself or for somebody else for Christmas. Order before Black Friday for best shipping dates. And with that, unless there's anything I'm forgetting, I think we're going to get into our game. Sounds good. Okay, so let's go back a couple of weeks and cover some of the things that you guys have been doing and kind of get all of our viewers and also all of us back into the stream. Okay, When you all first entered, there was a trapped hallway. Jart, Whimsy, and Sangane absolutely whiffed it, eating it into a pit in that hallway. The heroes stopped to consider the meaning of a door. Inside, they found some undead skeleton protectors and got into a battle. They rescued a woman and her 2 children, who gave them a tip about where they might find some a valuable good to as recompense for helping her escape. The heroes covered a lot of ground after Denny found a secret entrance. Whimsy unfortunately fell down the stairs, alerting people to their arrival. And as Glassstaff fled, he had charmed Jart to trying to hold the group back. Then you all had to fight your way through a room full of red brands, as well as some bugbears, which is where Droop came in, this little goblin who seems quite terrified, but has imprinted upon Graja, as is the way. Graja had chased Glassstaff, but fell into this very deep crevasse. And a creature climbed down into the pit after her, asking her telepathically for food. Jart, Denny, and Sangane killed the remaining bugbears, and the group assembled to try and find the fleeing wizard. But first had to try to pacify the Nothic by throwing a bugbear down for it to eat, which it does by taking it under the northern bridge. The group split up, always a great idea, with Whimsy running down the tunnel and setting fire to a tree with a not so well aimed Eldritch Blast. Jart and Graja went to speak to the goblin, who they ended up feeding, and it imprinted on the one that took credit for killing the bugbears, which was Graja. Sangane grabbed a leather vest off of one of the humanoid bodies in the pit. It had very distinct beadwork. And the deceased human seemed to be the blacksmith that had been captured, the husband and father of the woman and children that you had rescued earlier. As a group, you decided to try to get the chest that the Nothic was hiding under the northern bridge. Jart hooked it with her scythe, and using Step of the Wind, ran out of the crevasse, which is where we find ourselves on the map now. So group, we're not technically in initiative right now. Why don't you start by telling me what you want to do?
Jart's gonna try to throw the thing around here.
You're just going to huck the chest as far as you can.
Yeah.
All right. Give me a strength throw or an athletics roll.
Okay. Let's try.
Graja would maybe try to catch it. I don't know. That's even something.
I don't know that Graja is going to be close enough to be able to grab that from where Jart is trying to throw.
Okay, got it. No worries.
It's a 14.
14. Hey, that's not too shabby. You like, it's almost like a lacrosse move, because you've got this thing hooked on the end of your scythe, right? And you like using that leverage, give it a throw up there. You hear it clunk behind Sangane, who just ducks out of the way. And Whimsy, you hear this box crunch, and then you hear the tingling of coins as some things fall out of this chest that has opened.
Well, I certainly hope there was nothing delicate in there.
Sorry.
You can certainly lick all of the color potions on the ground to find out what they should have. No, I'm just kidding. Jart, you feel an intrusion in your mind as chaos and madness and hunger just screams at you in anger and frustration.
Fine. We're gonna be fine.
What's the worst that could happen?
Graja, is there anything you want to do? You see this box come chucked up and break, scattering things along the floor there.
I think I'm gonna approach the area where it spilled, and yeah, I think she'll crouch down and start going through. Now,
Yep.
Jart, are you safe? Are you safe where you are? Like, should I like pull you up? I'm kind of trying to get an idea of like where exactly you're.
I'm already
located.
on the top. I'm on the edge, but I'm on the top.
Oh, okay, I see that now. Okay, you're okay. So you're already there, so I don't need to help you up. Yeah, I'm just gonna start to go through some whatever's fallen out.
Hey, Jart, you hear the scraping as this Nothic is trying to climb up the crevice behind you.
Uh, guys, it's following us. Do we want to run, or what do we want to do?
I mean, I think we have to leave it alone. Can it? I mean, yeah. Maybe we should just get out of here after we get the stuff in the chest. Like, I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think there's enough food in the world to make it not hungry.
I have a cunning plan. Whimsy picks up the box that sort of opened and spilled stuff everywhere and starts filling it with rocks. Scoots a bunch of rocks in it and chucks the box back into the pit.
You hear, give me a strength throw there, Whimsy.
Okay, like.
Yeah.
Strength is not his forte. Just straight strength.
Yeah.
Cool. And back to slow motion run.
As you are sliding these rocks into this chest and you go to like slide it across the floor. 14. It spins a couple times, building up some like force, and goes tumbling down the crevice and lands on its lid, which is the only reason it stayed closed. The Nothic looks over for a second. Is there Sangane, are you looking down into the pit watching all this happen?
So I want to just get a good indication. So
Sure.
Jart came out of the pit and saw the Nothic. The Nothic's staring bloody murder at her. So Jart chucked the chest back towards me.
Yep.
And Whimsy grabbed the chest as it was sort of spilled out everything, scooped a bunch of stuff into it, closed it, and then sort of half chucked it tumbling into the pit. The Nothic is now staring at the chest.
Yep.
Then I want to add to that.
Okay.
I want to Whimsy, why? All the gold, and I'm gesticulating at the chest to see if I can fake the monster out.
All right, give me a deception check.
Oh God.
Which you're not rolling at advantage. I know you have a feat that allows you to roll deception at advantage when it's particularly pertains to your deity.
Be persuasion? Damn it.
You know what?
Natural 20. Which is weird because I have a +3, so it technically should be 23. But my thing says 0, which is weird. Okay, so 23.
Okay, so my general rule, Mike, is that when you roll a natural 20, I reveal something to you about your character.
Uh-oh.
It's not true for everybody. You have a very particular mechanic that we use.
Uh-oh.
As you are gesturing down to the pit and you see this, and you're desperately trying to avoid, first off, the Nothic's attention, and you are trying to sustain it and like convince it that there is something in there. Your fingers, almost without you knowing, make a motion, and this vibrant fuchsia color erupts from them and then immediately dissipates. And what you see on the box at the bottom of the thing is gold, a jewel encrusted sword, potions. You maybe clearly without understanding why, you were able to cast minor illusion.
Okie dokie.
You can add that to your spell list as something you can do as a free spell. If D&D Beyond doesn't let you, I will add it to your feat.
I've fooled myself now. I'm like, there's actual gold in the
Yeah, and you're like, oh my God, Whimsy,
At first you're
really?
like,
No.
"Whimsy, no, how could you?" And then you're like, "Oh
Yes.
God, Whimsy, no."
What did you do? Whimsy looks down. Whimsy's like, oh my God.
Yeah, and all of you who are looking at it see jewels and potions and this beautifully jewel encrusted hilt of this sword. You all see it. The Nothic scrambles over and begins to kind of grab this chest.
Oh shit.
And as he does so, his fingers pass through the illusion of the gold and the sword, and it stops for a second and tries to, it's got these elongated claw-like fingers that have been warped and aged over time, and it scrambles after them a couple more times. You hear the scritching of its nails on the wood of this chest, and then it lets out an actual sound, which is the first actual sound you've heard it make, and its eye whips back up to Sangane, and it leaps.
Oh shit.
And it is clearly going to be coming after you, Sangane. So I will give I'm not going to make us roll initiative, but I'm going to give everybody just in turn here a chance to describe what you're doing. Whimsy, you tossed this thing down. What are you doing?
Lamenting that my cunning find didn't work. And slowly edging Sangane now.
So there is actual stuff there on the ground.
Do I see anything, or is it just gold and jewels and stuff? Because Whimsy does not care about.
There is a scabbard that has this intricate silver chiseling inlay, and a sword that is still in this scabbard. The sword has some writing on it. It would take an action to kind of like look at it and investigate and try and figure out what it is. The hilt.
Inlay, but steel weapon, though, right?
Sorry, say that again.
Silver inlay, but steel weapon, right?
It's in the scabbard, so you haven't like pulled it to see what it is. The hilt is worked into the shape of like a bird of prey with outstretched wings on the hilt. There is a smattering and spray of silver and gold pieces. There are a couple of gems and 2 potions that have kind of rolled. One of them has unfortunately cracked open. The other one looks like it's okay. There is also a small scroll case.
Dang.
I almost died for this.
Look, guys.
You greedy bastards couldn't leave well enough alone. Maybe the real treasure was the friends we made along the way.
It's true.
That are trying to kill
The treasure
us.
is Droop and only Droop.
Yeah.
Whimsy sort of grabs the scroll case maybe as he's edging away from Sangane because he does not want to be up close and personal with this angry thing.
Okay.
Nice,
I'll
buddy.
say that you grab the scroll case, and would Whimsy have grabbed some of the coins?
No, Whimsy does not.
Okay.
Like money.
Right.
Barely knows
What
where
about-
money comes.
What about the pretty shiny gems?
Not really. He's not
Okay.
into the shiny. He's into like weird treasure.
Fair.
He does
That's
not
fair.
know the value of things.
Okay, so the spell scroll
Your
you
friend
grab,
holds
and are
two
you
stones.
going to move? Are you going to run away, or are you going to stay where you are?
He's gonna take a couple steps back anyway, towards Raja probably, and away from the monster.
Okay.
Raja will
Um,
protect him.
Jart, what are you up to?
I'm gonna try to throw him back into the hole. So basically, while he's jumping, George's gonna throw like a background kick and try to throw it again inside the
Go
pit.
for it. Make your attack. By all means.
Ah, this is stressful. It's not bad. It's an 18.
And 18 hits.
So yeah, like my intent is to like kick it back like one
Okay.
step behind and just make it
You, I need some dice. You kick it back and it lands on its back. You hear like this hollow thud sound of its cavernous chest hitting the ground. It does take a little bit of damage from the fall. Are you going to do anything else? Move, grab anything?
I'm gonna just like yell at them like I'm taking up the rear, grab everything and run.
You don't have to tell Denny twice. Denny comes
yeah.
running around the corner, grabbing what he can and hightailing it. Denny picks up a potion of the healing, a smattering of the coins, trying to aim for the gold, and the 5 gems. So there's still the sword and a bunch of gold and silver pieces on the ground. And yeah. Graja.
Okay. Is there anything left to be grabbed?
There's a lot of coins, and the sword.
Okay. I think she is going to like command Droop to get the coins and put them in his little, I don't know what he's wearing. Does he have a little vest on or something? I don't know. Does he have somewhere to put the coins?
He doesn't, but he can like grab some with his hands. He's wearing like, remember he was wearing like ropes that are just like a little bit too tight.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
That's right. Okay, so yeah. Right.
Mhm.
So basically I'll just tell him to grab as much as he can with his hands, and she'll say like,
I'll give you a little bag. Just get him with your hands right now.
and then Graja will grab the sword.
Okay. You grab this sword. It feels very balanced. Like you're fairly proficient at a variety of weapons. This is a long sword that you can just tell just by picking it up. It is maybe one of the nicest weapons that you've ever held in your entire life. And are you gonna run? Are you gonna use movement, or are you gonna stay where you are?
I will use movement. Which way are we? Which way are we running? Where are we going? Goodness gracious.
We know that like here there's like the fastest way out. We know it's here.
Yeah, that was the dark tunnel that Whimsy had looked
and
down.
ends up in a forest.
I think the only way we haven't been is down.
It's here,
which we can now sort of see goes up in that direction.
So I guess it comes down to, do we want to peep this unexplored area, or do we want to just get out? Because I'm assuming that the pushing of the chest and then the kick, that's a temporary measure. Like, I don't know that the Nothic isn't going to come and scramble back to try to get at us.
So what is
And-
Graja going to do in this moment?
Okay, I think Graja is going to scoop up Droop on her shoulders, and she is going
Thank
to
you.
she is gonna move toward the tunnel.
Okay.
And she kind of will call out. She's like,
Okay, I got the sword. I'm going through the tunnel to the forest so we can get out of here. I don't want to be here anymore, so I'm going to the tunnel, okay?
Okay. Sangane.
Well, everyone else is beaten feet down this tunnel. That's pitch black, and we don't know where it goes.
Goes outside.
Correct.
Whimsy explained.
Whimsy kind of would have shouted to you guys.
Yeah, Whimsy told us that there was light towards the other side of the tunnel when we were exploring.
And where is the Nothic?
In the pit.
Right in front of you.
Knocked in back. Is it up out of the pit?
No, down on its back at the bottom of the pit.
Cool.
Because Jart has just like Sparta kicked it.
And it's not injured at
Yeah.
all. It's just angry.
Very
Mhm.
lightly.
I really want to kill it,
Up
Go
to
for
you.
it.
but I can't do it alone.
What is Sangane going to do in this moment?
Because I don't have any spells left. So, and a minor illusion is static, right? It's not moving.
Uh-huh.
Shit.
It's still there. It's like half poking up out of his stomach.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Guys, I think we need to. I'm gonna follow them, I guess. Before
Is that what Sangane is going to do?
I don't want to, but I don't have the power to take this thing out alone.
Does Sangane know that?
You have cantrips.
My approach was that from the last session in my memory that the Nothic was almost, I would say, painted in a somewhat sympathetic light, that it's this kind of ancient creature that has this endless hunger and
Yeah.
I think that Graja
Like
was
it's
kind
not
of
their
like, well, I don't know that it's necessary to kill it and just kind of leave it to its devices, because I already did take a couple swipes at it, I believe, and it took some damage. So I think that was Graja's perspective on that, is that it was sort of
Right.
painted as something to be pitied.
Absolutely. Look, no, Graja absolutely would feel that way. Sangane is a
Sangane is-
very
Yeah, different
and-
different guy,
To
different
to
guy.
be fair, like you guys have only been around Sangane for a couple of days.
Yeah, we don't know
Sagane
this.
is torn. Sagane
We don't know this guy.
wants to look at this thing, and because it's ancient, because it's old, there was a connection there.
Right.
Sagane
I
also
did not
wants this
see it.
place as a lair.
Um,
So he's
Mike, give me a D20.
Uh-oh.
1 to 9, you're gonna attack. 10 to 20, you're gonna run.
I'll split the difference. I'm not going to run. I'm going to back up.
Okay.
I'm going to hold my action if it attacks to hit it with a booming blade.
Okay.
And I want to try to reason with it.
How are you gonna try to reason with it?
Who's a good boy?
Wait. This is meaningless. This is nothing. We can bring you more.
More what? More
than
what are
can
you
ever-
offering?
More than you can, more treasure than you can imagine. More flesh to eat.
Give me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Oh, dang. Where's my... Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Excuse me while D&D Beyond reloads.
Can I hear that? Or this is like a mental
You
communication?
hear Sangane saying this, yeah.
Okay.
Does Whimsy here too? Because
I mean, 17.
Yeah. 17. You get a flash in your brain. The voices, the cacophony of like chaotic voices
Cool.
just pound through your head. And the whispers are the main whispers that you can pick out in like your understanding of this chaotic being is different than how everybody else hears it. You hear it as like a 10-person jazz group that each have their own rhythms and times when they play and crescendos and solos, and they blend together. You hear music and sophistication when this Nothic is speaking to you, but you don't know that they don't hear that, and they don't know that you do hear that. Okay, what you hear, yeah, fair enough. Not everybody can be the best.
Exactly.
You hear, I want magic items. I want old magic items. I want the things that restore me.
What restores you?
You get flashes of pictures because there aren't words that adequately convey. You get flashes of the Nothic like eating disgustingly, like tearing into different flesh. So there's like a food aspect to it. There is a magical aspect to it of a very specific potion or set of like herbs that you probably with some study could figure out what they are. There are 3 runes that flash into your brain that you don't necessarily know this language, but it seems very old. And
Do
very,
I know the language?
You do not. You don't recognize this. It is very old and very arcane, but not like primal, not like from nature. This is a created language. And just for a second, you get a flash of a young dwarven female who has like fairly young, no gray in the hair or the beard yet, looking at a book and like trying to study it religiously, trying to learn and absorb everything on this page. And then you get that picture elongated through time. So you watch as this girl ages over time, looking through more books in a variety of different settings, out with a group of people and reaching into like a hole and finding a book. This person, this girl, is on a quest for knowledge, or something, but it all pertains to like books in the way that you know that wizards and sorcerers look for arcane knowledge in that way. And over time, you see her with a smaller and smaller group of people, including even like an elf who had been with her until the elf was elderly. And then it's her by herself, which is unusual. And not having aged much over that time period. And then you see in a split second, her aging over time and the warping of her body and her mind over time into the creature that you see before you. And even as you look down at it, you see like bristles and patches of like red hair around the face and sprouting out of the head.
So, quest for knowledge. It went wrong. Or did it? Show me more.
You don't get more information. You just get an aching, truly overwhelming, hopeless sense of sadness and loneliness.
Huh. Can you see in my brain?
Makes one.
You feel a stab at the front of your brain. Will you willingly?
I honestly don't know if I have anything to hide.
But would you willingly fail the save?
Yeah, at this point, I think he's going to. I think he wants to literally develop this rapport.
Your
And I'm
head,
gonna die.
your head, it is the worst headache that you have ever felt. It feels like there is a physical sliver of something that has pierced through your skull and brain.
That's a dice roll. That's bad.
You feel then an intense connection that binds you to this creature until you choose to sever the tie.
To fight it, yep.
And it is hunger like you have never known, and hunger for like a physical aching, hunger for connection with others, hunger for materialistic greed, things, magic things, old things, arcane things, things that bring power and knowledge.
And is that me, or is that getting more sense from it?
No, it is a connection. This is something that ties the two of you together.
Crap. Well.
And you're not sure. Maybe it starts with you. Maybe it starts with the creature. You don't know. You are like, you have willingly allowed it to psychically connect with you. And when you look into madness, not everybody escapes from that unscathed. So my question is, what is your intention and how long do you allow this to continue?
I think Sangani wants to get an appreciation and sort of dwelling on these impulses himself, to basically get a sense of, is that what's being pulled out of my psyche? Is that what's deep in the recesses of my psyche?
If this lasts more than 6 seconds, Jard's gonna put Sangane on her shoulder and it's gonna
slap me in the
start
head.
running.
Nope, we're out of here.
I would say at this point, Jart, you heard Sangane call down to the creature. You saw the creature kind of start to stand up, but not scramble up the cliffs like you had. And you see Sangane like grab his head multiple times, and he's just not moving. He's standing, but he's almost catatonic.
Oh, cool.
No, Judd's gonna take him. Is gonna throw him over the shoulder. Yeah,
We're
like
out.
fireman style, and it's gonna look at Wemsey and say run, and it's gonna start running with him, and it's gonna dash, so she can carry him,
Okay.
for 40 feet and just like try to leave.
Okay.
Cool.
Whimsy will bring up the rear. Not
Okay,
needing to be told next to run.
Yeah. Sangane, you barely have a connection to your physical body at this point. And you're getting glimpses of various things, and you're not sure. Maybe these are coming for you. Maybe these are coming from the creature. Give me a perception check at disadvantage to see if you understand what is happening in the physical world around you right now.
I had a 20 and I rolled an 8, so 11.
You feel movement.
Cool.
You feel your physical body moving, and you feel like this. If this is yellow or red for anybody, please just like hold up your hand and let me know, because I'm going to describe something kind of graphic. Have you ever seen like a video, or have you ever had like a super long splinter? And when it starts to get pulled out, there is like that pain and also a little bit of relief, and also like you feel every millimeter of that movement. That is what this feels like in your brain, that this connection is being severed, not by choice, but as it is actually ripped from your psyche.
Cool. It's got a range. That's good. We know this now. Wait. No, keep going.
The last thing that you, without question, do know what this thing is, the last vision you see is this like small ceramic or stone ramekin with, you know what it is with every sense in your body, with your smell, with your touch, with your sight, with your taste, with just even hearing the liquid inside the ramekin sizzle. You know what this is. This is like a little savory goat meat pie with a homemade crust over the top. It's a dwarven delicacy. And you know what this is. And it is the last thing that you can concretely identify as this spike is painfully wrenched from your brain, and the connection is severed, as you just kind of almost limply lay there on Jart's shoulder as they run you out this cave. Denny and Whimsy, you can kind of see Denny and Whimsy's feet running behind you. You guys take off down the hallway, and Whimsy, give me a perception check. I'll roll one for Denny as well. Hey, Denny, that's an okay roll. Denny got a 16.
Perception.
Anybody hungry?
Was
I got
that
a
one for
hankering
me too? I'm sorry.
No, because you're at the front of this
Okay,
group that's
just
running.
making sure. Cool.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
The rear.
18.
18. You and Denny hear this howl emanate and echo through the crevasse, through down this hallway. It is Whimsy, you've heard sounds like this before, as you've watched too many times for you to be comfortable with. Adventurers mourn the loss of people they were connected to in your father's court and at the games. You've heard this wailing that emanates from somebody who has just lost somebody that they care about or are connected to, and that is what you hear coming, physically emanating from this creature. Graja, you're trying to run. Droop is trying to keep up with you, but he's falling behind. So I imagine that you kind of scoop him up with one hand.
Yeah, I thought I had already done that. I thought I
Oh,
had already
sorry.
put him
Yeah,
on my
you probably
shoulders.
described that. You like scoop him up like a toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Like
He's my guy.
Yeah, like a mom saving a kid down a ski hill, like grabbing him by the hand and just kind of keep on running. And he shoves a little teeny goblin fistful of these coins in your pouch.
Great.
And then climbs on, gripping you tightly around your furs. And you guys take off. You make it to the end of this hallway. It's 150 feet. And you exit out into a somewhat chilly evening. Night has fully set. You are in a dark forest. And if you turn and look behind you, there is a cliff that this cave has exited from. And above the cliff, you can just at the top of the cliff see the ruins of Trezendar Manor. It's built on top of a cliff. Phandalin must be kind of nearby. Oh, here comes Mario. Do not step on my keyboards. You go this way. Come on. No, you just can't step on my stuff. Thank you. I'm gonna drop us back to the map of Phandalin just so that you guys can kind of see where you've exited here. You've exited down here. Oh, it's just loading into this forest. So the town is kind of off to the side. You can see some of the lights from the town off to your left.
Not many though, because they probably didn't want to leave candles burning while they were escaping.
Right. Yes. This is, I'm just going to draw a pink square of where you guys are. Yeah. I mean, you can see that there are there's not much over there for as, kind of large of a village as Phandalin is, but you do notice that there is a farm. Maybe you can kind of start to make out something like a sallow patch of land with like rows of different things planted, mostly harvested at this point in the year. But that's kind of what you can see in this twilight. The moon is full, so it's quite bright out.
George's gonna be not very carefully throw Sangane next to a tree.
Okay.
And be like, what were you thinking? What's wrong with you?
That creature is not... Well, it wasn't always like this. Did you not hear the voices?
No?
Yeah, I heard them too, but it was more like it was just really hungry. It just talked about eating stuff. So
Asangane was willingly offering it more food, more bodies,
And treasure.
and treasure. So, what's wrong with you?
Call it a delay tactic? To stall
And
it?
Graja narrows her eyes at Sangane like they're thrown by the tree, like she doesn't believe him.
Insight check on him.
Go ahead.
So
Oh yeah, you're like the queen of
it's a
insight.
24.
Crap.
So do I
Um,
know
It's
you
not
were
the
lying?
whole truth. It's a partial truth. There's something else hidden underneath that.
Sneaky
What
truth
you
behind-
also see in Sangane's eyes is you kind of are looking intently and trying to measure and weigh the worth of this person is like a gleefulness when he's talking about the voices and there is a certain amount of like actual psychopathic pleasure in the chaos.
Shit.
Hmm.
I like finding
Okay.
out about my character.
That's nice.
I'm a psycho.
That's very nice. So yeah, Dirt's gonna be like, look, we don't know you that good. We promised to bring you here to see if someone knew you. But if you can't control yourself, I don't think we should be traveling together anymore.
I'm in
I don't
complete
know.
control of myself. Did you know she was a dwarf?
He's not lying. He's
No, I didn't.
100% believing what he's saying.
Wait, who was a dwarf? She? Wait, what?
The creature. She was a dwarf. Her favorite meal was this goat meat pie.
And that
These are all
avoids-
images she sent to my brain.
And that avoids
She showed me an
it
image of.
eating people from the town. How?
I don't know. I can't explain that. What I can explain is that she has this thirst for knowledge, this thirst for magic of some kind.
Oh, my mom always said that was really dangerous.
Searching through magic is dodgy at best. It leads to curses like that. That is the bad side of magic. That is why you don't dabble in ancient, scary magic.
And
Seen it
Ancient
you,
magic is dangerous.
Curses get bad.
and you offering it things doesn't make you look any better.
I have no explanation for that. I felt instinctually that there was some kind of a voice connecting. So I tapped into it. I asked what she for it or her to show me what she was about. That's it.
Okay, and if we move on and we find the guy that has been putting all these people through hell and basically
Yeah, no, he's dead.
killed who is that?
I mean, no, I'm with you.
Oh, okay. There's more people than Glassstaff. Apparently Glassstaff has a boss.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
Glassstaff
yeah.
that scared the shit out of the villagers.
And also we need to find the rock seekers because they didn't find them. That means they probably fled before.
Also, we have a deal to fulfill.
Yeah,
they
they
need
gotta
to pay
pay us, right, Jart?
We
So-
dropped our card off at the store like they said. We did not get payment like we were told. This
Yeah.
deal is not finished.
And I think at this point, Graja is kind of looking around. I think she does feel a manner of relief because she's back out. She can see the sky, the trees, has dark vision, so can kind of get her bearings, and kind of, just gives Droop like a little reassuring pat, and then she looks at the rest of the party.
Okay, well, there is a lot going on in there, but it's dark and it's cold. And do you want to try to go back to the town, or do you want to make camp here? But I think we need to just all sleep and rest and have something to eat, and then we can figure it out.
Whimsy
Maybe.
sort of gives a half nod and says, "Let's camp here," and then he howls. He summons his wolves.
All right.
Sure. We can go back to the town in the morning, try to see if anyone's left, and if not, we will figure it out. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
And
mean-
Graja will immediately start like trying to set stuff up to make a
Are you
little
guys gonna
camp, a fire.
Wait. The town is literally right there.
The empty
I
town, yes.
mean,
But 200
it's-
feet away from us is the town master's hall.
is that close? That close?
Ooh.
We're like, and
We could-
that
we
thing
could
is dangerous. As
barricade
much as I wanted to
inside.
kind of get an understanding of it, it's probably not wise to live or to camp just outside of its lair.
There was nothing keeping it from getting out before.
He had a deal.
There's no door on this tunnel, and as it showed, it can get out of that pit. There was nothing keeping it from raiding the town all along.
No, I think he had
Except
a deal.
maybe Blackstaff.
Yeah, I think Glassstaff was
Glassstaff.
feeding it, and
him.
that's why it stayed there, because they were feeding it.
So
The Townmaster's Hall is a good idea. I don't think the coward that lived there is there anymore. It's nice, and the door is a little bit broken, but I think we can barricade us inside.
Okay, if you guys think that's best.
And she like kind of like tries her best to like look up at Droop, and she's just like,
Hey, Drew?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that hungry creature that was there?
You can feel it like shiver in just kind of terror. No. Droop had to feed it sometimes, but just throw from far away and run.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, but we're gonna get away. We're not gonna. Don't worry about that.
He kind of like buries his face in the back of like your furs on your neck and just like holds on to you tightly.
too cute. I can't stand it.
love him.
So Graja will sort of look toward where the town master's hall,
Yeah.
and just be like,
Okay, well, let's get going. I'm tired.
Are you guys going stealthily or are you guys just going?
Whimsy's hanging back and waiting for his wolves because he wants to try and catch Glassstaff's scent. He's got some of the vials he took from the lab.
Okay.
Oh,
He's gonna try
Okay.
and get the wolves to get the scent and figure out if Glassstaff came this way
Okay.
or if he's still in there somewhere.
Is anybody staying with Whimsy or the rest of you guys are moving to the town master's hall?
No, if Whimsy shares that with us, I think we're all staying.
yeah, I don't.
So-
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're all staying there.
but here's my thought though. If this Glassstaff fellow was feeding the thing, and Glassstaff is now no longer here, that thing's going to leave, and
Well, there's a
go
couple more
hunting
bodies in there for it.
with a very convenient town right next door.
That was
The-
evacuated.
The town is probably empty for now. I don't know. There's bodies inside still. I don't know if
There's at
that
least two
thing
more
is a
bunkers.
scavenger or whatever.
That's a good point.
And I think Graja sort of, maybe her face darkens slightly in that moment, and she sort of narrows her eyes and she kind of just says, maybe slightly quieter, she's like,
We can't help everybody. It's just not possible.
And yeah, I think we have a couple of days. We need to find the rock seekers. Try to find them first thing in the morning, and if that thing comes to the town, well, we gave it a chance already.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
Whimsy, do your thing, and when you're ready, we can leave.
Whimsy, it takes a few minutes, but you do then hear like the distant howling of the wolves. You have to like howl back a couple of times for them to really find you, because you had left them on the other side of the town and they have to make their way around, but they do. It's exactly what that is. And as they do, they kind of like, like the best videos where like the person returns to the wildlife preserve after like 20 years and they come and tackle them and give them licks all over. That's kind of what it is, Whimsy, as they tackle him and give him licks all over. And I presume that you speak with them and give them some information.
Yeah. And then he pulls out a couple of the vials. Some of them were full of stuff and some of them were just empty vials that he grabbed. And just hold them out and be like, can you find this scent here? Don't go in the tunnel, but can you find this scent around the edge of the tunnel?
They sniff the vials and they go around, and kind of the bigger one you can see goes in for the sniff first, and they start to sniff around. They do find a scent, and the biggest one kind of turns back to look at you and like alerts that it goes off into the forest.
Last went that way.
We can't have gone that. Can't have that much of a lead. Let's get him.
I guess east, right?
Back to my stupid mouse just died.
He quietly tells the wolves when we're done that there's a bunch of bodies in a bar in the town if you want to search those out. Any bodies the villagers didn't take with them. Oh no, wild animals got it.
We can't have every treasure either, Whimsy.
What? I don't want treasure.
The three smaller ones kind of lick at your hands a couple times like, yeah, message received, friend. Are you guys going to stop and take a rest, or are you going to go chase Glassstaff?
I think we need to rest. We've been beaten up.
That's what I'm saying. I only have one rage left. I don't have good HP. I feel it's in our interest to
take a long rest,
beef back up, and then go after the dude. It's not like I mean, Sagane was like, it's not like he can go that far. Didn't go away in a Lamborghini.
That's kind of what I had in mind anyway, was just to get the wolves are persistence predators, so they'll follow and track and mark a trail for the others. So one or two wolves follow, the others lead us along the trail that they lead. We're not picking a trail, we're following one.
So are you telling the wolves to go and follow the trail and just...
Yeah.
And what happens if they find Glassstaff?
Unseen, do not engage.
And what happens if they find him?
Return.
Okay. They circle around you another time and like lick your hands and then take off into the woods as quietly as they can. They're pretty proficient at that, but it is dense wolves and they are searching, so they're smelling a lot of things and tracking a lot of places. I take it then that means that you guys are heading up to, did you say the town master's hall?
Yeah.
Okay, so you all make your way up to the town master's hall. Are you going stealthily, or are you just going?
Let's just go, and if there are any people remaining in the town, they're gonna know we're still here, because we're trying to find the rock seekers still.
Yeah, I think we just go. I don't know that.
Okay. As you make your way into town, up past the farm and onto the main street, there's still like the charred roof line of the rock seeker house that had caught on fire a few hours ago when you were in it. You make your way over to the town master's hall, and who's in the front?
I'll go
I
first.
think. Okay.
Jart,
and
give me a
go-
perception check.
I'll go after Jart.
Okay, perception check, please, Graja.
Ooh,
Oh, me
that's
too.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
15.
It is
17.
dark. It is dark in town. It is growing colder as the night goes on. There is very little illumination other than like from the moon. None of the windows have candles burning in them. But there is a humanoid figure in the doorway of the town master's hall.
How far are we?
You
Like-
guys are, I'll say like, it's just as you come around the corner of this house that you see a person standing in the door frame of the town master's hall. So, 25-ish feet in the dark. The porch, the roof kind of comes down over the porch. So you can see kind of the silhouette of a person. You don't see any defining features.
And they're not like they're just standing there as far as we can tell. Okay.
Yeah.
Human-sized portions, not dwarf-sized portions.
Human-sized portions.
Good evening.
And
Okay, you call out.
Sorry. Yeah.
No response.
Was the town master a humanoid, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did the
Let's-
angry mob you left him with string him?
Yeah, probably. So we're gonna start moving. Jared's gonna continue moving forward, seeing that they're not hostile.
And I think Graja, instead of being like behind Jart, is now coming like next to Jart so that they
Yeah.
can sort of form a bit of a front there.
Yeah. As the two of you advance, you see that there isn't the feet aren't touching the ground of this human. And as you get closer, you see that there is like a pool of blood that is
What?
coming from beneath the feet on the ground there. And as you step forward, Jart, and Graja, you have dark vision. You see that there is a knife sticking out of the chest of this creature.
Are they the town master?
They are.
Okay.
Hey, Jart, you didn't kill him yourself. All you did was open a door.
Right.
When I left him, he was okay.
Oh, wow.
He was being scolded.
That's some pretty impressive backbending right there. Oh, crap.
was that the
People wanted to
villagers, or is
talk to
that-
him.
Is that Glassstaff's work, or the villagers, or Glassstaff's master that the villagers were all scared of?
Yeah.
As you get a little bit closer, you see that there is a note that this little dagger is pinning to his chest.
Jesus. These
And
people
this
are-
note says, congratulations, you can have the town. Good luck finding the people to maintain your collection of wealth.
Okay. These people are.
Well,
I think we killed the wrong monsters.
An old-timey post-it. Damn it, Amanda.
no, well,
And so I'm sorry. He is dead.
Now I have a machine gun.
Yeah.
Ho ho ho.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Um,
And Graja will take the knife out and and have the note and like tuck it away.
It's a well created dagger, actually. It's like locally artisanally made. It's a well balanced dagger you can add to your to your inventory there.
Neato.
And
Thank you.
the note, it's kind of sticky, some blood on it.
What's a little blood? And Graja just looks just so confused. Just has no idea. And she's mulling over this note and she's like,
Okay, you know, this is bad. But we just have to go in and we have to rest and then we have to go get glass staff.
I'm gonna cut him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll help you.
Yeah, you reach up, Jart, you kind of like lift him up, hoist him up as Sangane cuts him down and he slumps over.
So this is an interesting development. We now have an empty town of horrifyingly angry and or savage people who are willing to hang their town master for being I don't know what he even did. Was he an embezzler? Was he some kind of a crook? Did he
was working
sacrifice
with
everyone?
glass staff. It
Altar?
seems he knew everything that was going on the people that died. Like,
letting glass
he
staff do
allowed
whatever
all
to
of
keep
this
people
to-
who
yeah.
did the monster.
Okay, so he was taking some kind of monetary or some kind of stipend from Glassstaff to allow the
It seems like it.
thing.
And you are able together as a group, based on like how Whimsy had spoken to the Red Brand boy that he had chased outside the tavern, and what Jart had overheard from the angry women, and what you had heard from the Red Brands that you had met down in the basement of Trezendar Manor. You start to piece together this story of this was a village that was starting to come back to some kind of, prosperity. They were giving it a go. They had brought a bunch of new people in, and because they had gotten big enough, they had gotten the attention of a larger city, and Glassstaff had come in at some point and started weaving influence in the community. And Glassstaff's boss then came in. They kind of set up this shakedown operation where they were shaking down local businesses and families for protection from them. And the town master was receiving financial kickbacks from them in order to keep it quiet. And so the majority of the young men in the town had joined this group, mostly to try and keep their families as safe as they could. Yeah, really, really rough times in Phandalin over the last, lawless times in Phandalin over the last few months. And it's especially odd. Let's see, Denny would probably be the one who would know the most about this, coming from like a city upbringing. Denny finds that it's odd that this kind of lawlessness exists in a place where it's fairly civilized, where like there's humans, and you hear stories like this, but they're not from human settlements. They're not from places where, especially like humans and dwarves and elves, and there was some orcs or some half orcs that you had seen earlier, Graja. This is a civilized settlement. For this level of corruption to occur, for sure the Lord's Alliance, who is the law agency in kind of the Sword Coast, where our game, like the continent of where our game is played, or the province or the state of where our game is played, the Lord's Alliance would have sent somebody to investigate this level of corruption. Like that in itself is quite weird, that a town or a settlement of this size had not received any support from, from the local aid, from like the Department of Homeland Security. Do you know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot that is odd and off about the situation.
And I think it's at that point, I think Graja's kind of mulling this over, kind of putting the pieces together as the DM was describing. And she like takes the corner of her black shirt and kind of wipes off some of the blood on the dagger that she took, and she kind of just like holds it up and looks at it. And again, it's that cracking of this optimistic veneer that is more frequently occurring now. And she's like,
sometimes people get what's coming to them, easily bought and quickly dead.
And I think she starts moving into the hall at that point.
Yeah, George's gonna drop the body like next, like on the side of the house. If we're gonna bury it, we're gonna do it tomorrow. Like, I don't have any rush right now. And again, come in, wait until
Whimsy
everyone's
just shakes
in.
his head. He's like, I'm not digging a hole for that.
And when everyone's in, George's gonna like barricade the door with a chair or something.
Okay. You guys manage to kind of move enough furniture around and put enough stuff together for narrative purposes. We'll say that you all feel comfortable enough that you could get a sleep. Are you guys all going to sleep at the same time, or are you guys going to take watches?
Hell no.
Yeah,
Graja will take the first watch, but she wants Droop to sleep right now though, and she really does her level best to make some kind of comfortable little sleeping nest for Droop, and sort of maybe will like tuck him in, maybe give him a bit of some dried meat ration, and then she'll kind of sit in like a wooden chair, just like facing the door, basically.
Okay.
I pictured like some kind of absolute nervous separation anxiety chihuahua or something.
Yeah,
shaking constantly.
at one point, like Denny, who has no problem just going to sleep immediately, like he moves some stuff around and immediately falls asleep, kind of wakes up as Graja is like, it's okay, Droop, just go to bed, it's okay. And Denny just kind of wordlessly gets up, grabs Droop, wraps Droop up in Denny's cloak and lays back down with him and like forces him to come to bed. And Denny is out. Jart and Whimsy and Sandane, you guys find some peace and begin your long rest. Graja, make me a perception check.
Sure. And Graja is, I mean, being as alert as possible, but also, I think, having some real contemplation and introspection at this point. Oh, man. God, a 2.
Oof.
Graja,
roll through the window.
You know, when you first start that process of really growing up and seeing that the world isn't the way that it is, it takes such an emotional toll on you. And for a while you just kind of sit there, and then you realize like you're crying, actually, like the tears are streaming down your face, and you're trying to grapple with what's going on, and your fear from losing your friend, your worries about this creature and this new guy who's super weird, and like eventually, even though you don't mean to, your eyes, the emotional weight of it all just weighs down on you, and your head slumps, your eyes close, and you fall asleep. Jart, you wake up as there is like a howling and a scritching at the front door.
Okay. I'm gonna open for the wolves.
The wolves come in, sniff at you, kind of look around.
Whimsy's there, so they can just like go and cuddle with Whimsy.
You kind of point, and they paw over, and then start to sniff around in the blankets where Whimsy was.
What?
No, is this where the Halloween episode picks up?
Okay. So Jared's gonna panic. It's gonna wake up Sangane and Graja and be like,
You reach over to the thick cloak that Sangane, it's a little bit small for him because it was made for Viessa. But you reach over to this thick cloak, and the cloak is there, but your hand scratches the ground.
okay. Now I'm gonna go towards Graja.
I've kidnapped.
Is she there?
Whimsy. You'll never get him back.
Nope. Graja's not sitting in the
I'm
chair.
not
We remember
there?
seeing her.
I'm gonna try to find Danny and Droop.
Droop is there, snoring
Okay.
like a little cat, like a little chihuahua. But Denny's not snuggling him.
Okay. Okay, this is fun. I'm gonna pinch myself to make sure I'm awake.
You are?
Okay. I am going to kneel in front of the wolves. Be like, okay, boys, I don't know if you understand me, but did you find the guy?
Give me an animal handling check.
I don't think I'm good at that. Okay. Ooh, it's good. 22.
Whimsy is just rolling on pure luck.
One of them tentatively, like the smallest one of them, leans forward and gives you like a lick on your cheek. And the bigger one is kind of pawing around expectantly, like we found him. We got him.
Okay. Guys, can we find Whimsy? Where's Whimsy? And I shake Whimsy's sheets or whatever he was sleeping.
A couple of them go over and sniff and whimper. They sniff around the room, trying to like catch the scent. They go out onto the little covered porch. It's still nighttime. They sniff around, and they keep coming back to the pile of clothes. There's no scent to be caught of Wednesday.
Okay, Jared continues panicking.
Panicking is a free action. Yep.
Yeah. You can cry as a bonus action.
Yep.
Is the body of the town monster still outside?
Yeah.
Ah, gosh. Like hurricane knowledge is like non-existent.
Right.
So okay, so she's gonna try to flip the house upside down, see if she can find either a secret entrance.
Sure.
Or something.
Give me an investigation check.
Here comes the one. Oh no, it wasn't that bad.
You've been rolling really good all night. It's fine.
It's an 11.
You give like a good hour of like searching every crevice. You touch every like suspicious looking brick in the exterior. You reach your hand up into like the flue area of the chimney. You go up the stairs. This is a 2-story building. You go up the stairs, and you do find a chest full of gold. Like it is chock full of gold. And there's some like rings and some necklaces, clearly some personal belongings in there. There is no secret entrance. You get the wolves to help you as much as you can. Nothing.
Okay. So kind of defeated. She's gonna come back to the wherever, like to the door.
Mhm.
She's gonna lock the door again. It's gonna like sit in a corner and spend the rest of the night like trying to stay awake,
Mhm, mhm.
kind of defeated, kind of like trying to see if something else happens
Mhm.
through the night so she can try to do something in the morning.
There's a point at which like Droop kind of wakes up as you're searching the house, and he ends up like climbing onto your lap and like cuddling up with you, and the wolves eventually come and sit around you, and they kind of whimper for a little bit, but they end up falling asleep too. You you sit there for what seems like hours. You watch as the darkness of night kind of turns to that beautiful pre-dawn, like indigo color. And then you watch as the sun starts to rise. Just as you are like starting to nod off, you've got a warm little radiator goblin on your lap. The wolves are being super cuddly. Just as you start to nod off, there is a slight like a creaking of somebody walking, almost like walking across a floorboard, like the creaking of a board, and your eyes snap open, and Graja, Whimsy, and Sangane are in front of you, sleeping right where they were.
Okay, so at that moment, I'm gonna go to sleep the rest of the time until like it's fully morning, and we're gonna deal with all this nonsense in the morning because I'm exhausted.
Graja, Whimsy, and Sangane get a long rest. Jart, you can have a short rest. Whimsy, you get woken up as like licks cover your face of your wolves.
Ah. My boy.
Graja, you're sitting in this chair, and you kind of look over. Yeah, it does. You look over, and Droop is not snuggled with Denny anymore. Droop is curled up in Jart's lap. Jart is sitting up on a chair across from you, across like the desk.
I'm really sorry. I fell asleep. I was really tired. I'm sorry. Jart, did you see anything happen overnight?
You all disappeared last night, and then just
DM, are
appeared
we
before
cognizant
dawn.
of any of that?
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Who all remembers? Do I remember?
Okay, wisdom.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you remember.
Oh, this is gonna
Another 2.
17.
Yeah, Whimsy kind of wakes up slowly, sitting up and just side-eyeing the others, waiting for the inevitable.
Graja, as you're like, I fell asleep. I'm sitting in the same place as I was. That's unusual. Sangane, you sit up a little bit, and you cough a little bit and spit up a little bit of like salt water.
Yeah, right.
That's unusual.
Because I was unconscious.
But yeah, no. You do have the weirdest dream, Sangane, but you were just staring into the face of madness with this Nothic. So who's to say what is even facts anymore?
And I'm having a whole fjord moment.
We-
and I'm coughing up salt water and I don't know where it's coming
Yeah.
from.
We
so-
are full like year 2002 Pete Colbert truthiness situation. Like you don't even know if what are facts? Why do we even facts are just what you feel.
Well, who's hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really hungry.
Okay.
I'm hankering
He
for
takes
goat
his
pie, and I'm
away
not sure
from
why.
people in case they do remember, and he runs off to the kitchen with the wolves to get meat for the wolves and to make breakfast for his friends, who he's very sorry he almost got murdered.
Whimsy and the Wolves, best band name ever, dash out of this room. Sorry, Whimsy, did you say you were going to like the inn where there's a big full kitchen?
He's gonna check the one here first, and then if there's nothing here, then check elsewhere.
There's not even like a space where it looks like there's a kitchen. There is
Different
The-
dishes every meal.
yeah.
This guy was so cheap, he didn't even have a kitchen.
Okay, so no, things are just getting weirder. The wolves found Glassstaff, apparently. So we can have breakfast and try to follow, or try to find the rock seekers. They needed the rock seekers for something.
I think
I think we
Glassstaff
have to
will-
find. I think we have to find Glassstaff first, right? So he doesn't get too far. Otherwise, we're gonna lose him forever.
Well, we've already given him 8 hours of head start.
wolves were tracking him. We can catch up pretty quick.
He needs to rest.
Fair
If
enough.
not, he's gonna be, well, assuming he's human.
Depending on how much of a bastard his boss is, I guess. I mean, he may not have rested. How much was Sagani remember about the Whimsy incident? Like just in the
You rolled-
dream? Is there anything?
You rolled a 17 for your wisdom saving throw of like coming back from the Feywild, which is you remember some of it, but
I
this has
remember
also
lots of lightning.
you remember like flashes of very distinct things, people that you had never met before. Your hand kind of runs down to your side, and this dagger, you trace like the letters that are carved into this dagger a couple of times,
Shit.
and that
I still have
isn't
that.
something that really had captured much of your attention before, but now you're intensely curious about it. You remember
Do I remember casting the lightning spell? Do I remember any kind of that connection?
I would say you remember
Or
you
do I
remember
did I
you
dream
remember
it?
being very concerned about Whimsy, and you remember that there was like the most exotic creatures that you had ever, that anybody would ever even write about in fiction, and you remember fighting them yourself. That's very odd.
I mean, well, that's not really that odd. I mean, come on.
Fair.
Would he remember any of the extra spell use because it was all lightning and thunder,
Are those
or just sort of a memory, or of or did he dream that sort of thing? Is it?
It's hard to tell what was dream and what was reality, and you're still, there's still like these flashes that are coming forward in your brain that you're not sure whether they're yours or the Nothics. You have a lot going on psychologically right now. Like
So-
you
so Gabby
really
stands up.
need treatment.
Walks outside, opens the door, looks up at the sky. What's the weather
Daytime.
like?
Daytime, it's slightly overcast, like a good gray. It does look quite dark in the distance. It could be that there's a storm heading this way.
So focus on the storm. Look up at some of the clouds in the sky. Just reaches his hand up sort of concentrates for a second and just sort of, foolishness, and walks back inside.
Yeah.
Call lightning
Whimsy
from the
comes
sky,
back with a
whatever.
tray full of breakfast.
Whimsy comes back with, yeah, all kinds of good stuff. A bunch of stuff that was clearly ransacked from like the next house over, cheeses and grapes and like a little breakfast charcuterie board. And the wolves have packed up like their own little to-go steaks that they got from somewhere, and they're sitting on the porch, suspiciously eyeing like the dead body there, but they're chewing away on what I'm sure is like quality prime rib.
Nice.
And Graja's sort of like wherever Droop has stationed now. I don't know if he's still curled up with Jart or whatever, but she kind of says,
Okay, Droop. Time for food. I don't know what you like, so there's a lot of stuff here. Just pick what you want.
Droop comes over and like hesitantly picks at a couple of different things, but you notice that his eyes keep going to the raw steak that the wolves are eating.
Meat, huh?
He salivates, just like a little band of saliva drops down his face.
Whimsy, is there any more steaks?
I'll go back and double check next door's kitchen because I don't want to wrestle the food from the wolves. That's their
Yeah,
food.
maybe if there's just like one more for Droop. I'll just eat some cheese.
Yeah, Whimsy did out of habit make a vegetarian platter because he doesn't eat meat, so he just assumes meat is for the wolves.
Yeah. Absolutely. Jart, make a perception check for me.
Me? Sorry?
Yeah. Make a perception check for me, please.
It's a 7.
It takes you a few minutes as everybody's sitting there and you're like, they were gone. They were gone, but they're just eating but they were gone. Like, it takes you a few minutes to start to grapple with the fact that they were gone and now they're not, except Denny's not there.
What?
Hey, where'd Denny go?
Guys, has anyone seen Denny?
Kind of assumed he was raiding the closet. This guy's rich and probably has some nice stuff.
He's sleeping on a bunch of silks upstairs, probably.
He went straight to the bed because, like, why would you sleep on the floor?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
can't argue with that.
You all right, Jack?
He was sleeping here like 2 hours ago. So,
I think Raja will step out of the front door and look around and just be like,
Denny!
Make a perception check.
okay, come on, I gotta get something besides a 2. I rolled a 2, like, okay, come on now. Help me out, dice.
8.
Man.
You look across the street. The body is starting to smell a little bit. You look across the street. There's nothing around. You don't see Denny. Denny's cloak is on the ground. And Denny is not somebody who just like leaves their good clothing around. So that's odd.
And Graja will pick up the cloak. Is there anything unusual, like rips, blood, other stuff on it? Anything like that?
You're gonna make
Sorry,
me
your
think.
face. You just get.
You're gonna make me think, and that was a month ago that we filmed that.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sure. There absolutely is. There are singe marks. There's a little bit
Okay.
of like jello, like a gelatin flecks that are on it.
Sure.
There's a part of it that's quite wet. Yeah.
So Graja will take that back inside to the others and kind of just like hold up the cloak with one hand and be like,
I found Denny's cloak on the ground and it's got all sorts of weird stuff on it. It's like burned and there's like goopy stuff and it's kind of wet. Like, what is this? He wouldn't just leave his cloak behind. I thought there wasn't anybody here.
Whimsy sort of squints at the cloak, like, if the cloak's back, then he came back. There's
Back
debris
from where?
from the games on the cloak.
Well, where did he go?
Games back.
I'm worried.
Back from where?
Whimsy like immediately falls quiet and is just going to try and play this off like, I didn't say games. You said games. What games are you talking about?
There's
Yeah,
no time for
inside
games right now.
check.
Don't worry.
Go ahead and make an insight check.
Everyone's a bunch of shifty liars.
16.
I know, right? You're all up to something with my 10.
I need
All right, Whimsy, make a deception.
Womp womp. Nope.
Come on.
Jared's gonna be traumatized after this last 24 hours. Just saying.
I feel so
Trust
bad for Jar.
anyone ever again. Nope, not good. Whimsy got an 8.
Whimsy is shifty as fuck.
Well, yeah, we knew that before, though.
Yeah.
But
let's be
Jart,
honest.
like,
In
No.
character.
Whimsy was eclectic or odd before. Whimsy is openly deceptive right now.
Whimsy. I'm not gonna make you tell me because I can tell you don't want to tell me. But what I need to know is Danny okay? Or we need to try to find glass stuff because glass stuff might have Danny.
As far as I know, anything that happened to Denny is unrelated to what I don't want to talk about.
Okay.
It's legit.
His cloak is here. He came back. They all made it back. I made sure of that.
Okay.
His cloak came back. That means he came back from that. I don't know where he is now.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. He wouldn't leave his cloak behind. We all know Denny that much to say that he's not gonna leave his nice clothes, so I feel like maybe he's in danger.
Yeah, he's a bit of a fob.
Whimsy calls one of the wolves over and holds out Denny's cloak. One more tracking. One more person to track.
The
wolf rolls its eyes.
They sniff at it and get a fairly good scent and kind of go running off towards the building that Sangane had watched people come in and out of and form the line in front of.
Wasn't that like a bathhouse? Denny just having a shower? He's beautifying. Whimsy takes the cloak and marches off in that direction, following the wolf and muttering.
You hear you don't even have to get very close before you hear loudly and super off key Denny singing like tavern songs and trying to like use the echo of the bathhouse to give that kind of reverb.
These acoustics are amazing.
Yeah.
I sound great. See?
Yeah, Whimsy
And he's
throws
fine.
her cloak
Absolutely.
at Denny and is like, "Put your pants on. We've got to chase Glassstaff."
You
Absolutely no regard for modesty. Just marches in there, chucks a cloak at him.
yeah, it is extra steamy. Like Denny has found a way to like almost create like a sauna experience here. It is like he just kind of gives you this look like, you and I have some conversations that need to be had. And he just kind of motions to himself, and you see like a scratch and a bruise and like a singed body part. And he just kind of like motions like, this is your fault.
I made you breakfast.
Kind of thinks about it for a second. Fair enough, Nate. And he jumps right up and gets dressed and grabs his cloak and steps out the door, and he's like, breakfast this way, that way, where are we going for that?
He's back at the town master's hall.
Happily trumps back, sets himself down at the desk with his feet on the desk there, and eats quite happily away.
Denny, are you
now-
okay? Where were you?
I was trying to get clean, was a bit interrupted, but for breakfast, I'll let it go for now. Just had to wash off that whole experience. And he shoots a daggered glance at Whimsy.
And Garage just kind of like shakes her head. It's just like it is too much. It's too much at this point.
There is a lot going on.
Yeah, and she's like,
Okay. All right. Well, after breakfast, Glassstaff, the wolves know where he is, so we gotta go and we gotta give it everything we got this time.
Everything we got.
You guys finish up your breakfast. Jart, for sure, like beyond just things being weird, things are weird. And Graja seems like she has lost a slice of her innocence. Just your passive insight as you're kind of taking a look around. Graja seems a little bit more jaded than she has been in the past. Sangane is like in the after effects of a really bad trip. There is like, he just kind of sometimes like has a tick or fidgets or like shakes something away. He may be having a psychotic breakdown. It remains to be seen.
Yes, for the next
Whimsy
17 levels.
Whimsy is actively avoiding Denny's glance, and Denny is actively trying to catch Whimsy's attention to be like, are we not going to talk about this now? I feel like this is an appropriate time to discuss this. The wolves are kind of in and out. Droop is shivering under Graja's fur vest.
Calf.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only been like 20 minutes of this day.
Yeah, it's
We're
like
a great family.
a very great
trauma
start of the
bonding.
day.
What?
Yeah. So what Jart's gonna do is it's gonna go up to the townmaster's closet.
Yeah.
find like a fur jacket,
Yep.
and it's gonna put it on Droop, who's gonna be like, it's gonna be like a dress on him, and it's gonna tie with a belt on his waist.
You managed to
I'll be soft.
Graja, between you and Jart, you take that dagger that you had found and you cut out and like clean the wounds around Droop's, like the rope that had been tying much too tightly into his skin. And you fit him for this. You like cut it so that he's not tripping over it as he moves. Denny follows you up and selects some new pieces for himself as well. They have to be quickly altered as best as possible because Harbin Wester was rotund and Denny is very svelte. But you know, there are definitely some acceptable pieces. And Denny immediately also notices the chest full of gold, and is like, yes, and puts as much as he can carry into his pouch and shouts down, gold up here, who's coming to help me carry the rest?
And we're not giving this one away.
And that's where we'll end for today, and we'll pick up with Denny next week. You guys covered a lot of ground.
We really did.
Yay.
We were put through our paces psychologically,
Like, this is the
physically,
most-
mentally.
Yeah, Whimsy has some answers to give us at some point.
So
I love this tie-in.
only Denny remembers clearly. Sangane is mixing it up with his weird acid trip with the
Yep.
monster.
Yep.
And Grasha remembers nothing.
Nope, I
Yeah.
got nothing.
And then Jart just knows that everyone disappeared for a bit.
Mhm.
It was fun though.
Oh yeah, no, it was
Good times.
A blast. A blast,
Yeah.
truly.
Excellent. Well, in that case, I will wrap us up. So I'll get everybody to go around, say anything else that they're working on, other places you can find them. We will go backwards, and we'll start with our eye candy Mike.
And what now? No. Mike, him was playing Sangane, who's really confused now and having a bit of an identity association disorder, maybe, or something. We're not entirely sure. But me, you can catch my pre and post COVID cosplay adventures at Canadian Captain America on Instagram and TikTok, and CDN Cap America on Twitter, where on that I'm pretty much just ranting about various D&D things. You can catch me here on Sundays at 2 p.m. playing with this fantastic group of people. I'm actually quite excited to see what happens with this dysfunctional family as we go along. You can catch me on Tuesdays running my own 5th edition D&D game of Would-Be Heroes, where Dungeon Master Sarah is playing a cleric and is going to be running into a whole lot of new. Anyway, no, you can't say anything. You have to watch and see. But she's excited because she missed last time, and it was the one time when she would have actually been recognized. I'm in the Saturday takeover, and things are heating up. Things are going to be heating up this week coming a lot. You'll find out. Actually, we film it on Mondays, so you're not going to find out until Saturdays, but boy, it's going to be big. And I am guesting on not this week, but the following week with the Changeling game on Wednesdays, where the troupe gets to do some work for their new employer.
Excellent. And going around, Sarah.
Hey, my name's Sarah. You can find me on Twitter at MC Diabetes. I'm also a creative partner at Martlet Games. Please follow the Martlet Games Twitter for all of our production schedule. We actually have a schedule image. We have 10 candles. We have Vampire the Masquerade, some kind of niche stuff with an all Hekata game. You can find me on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Eastern in an all Bahari Vampire the Masquerade game for the Onyx Path Publishing Channel's Twitch. That is also heating up pretty good, and it's a limited series, so definitely catch those there. Still the Weekend Warrior for Vancouver by Night. We have one more special cast Q&A with the bespoke horror game Skin Deep that Lex did. So we got one more sort of fun, shorter sort of cast wrap up. You can catch the series on YouTube. Please go ahead and give Vancouver by Night a subscribe on YouTube. Check out their Patreon. There's tons of extra vampire stuff on the Patreon. You'll see me, you'll see Mike, tons of other people. Mike hit it right on the head with the Delve into Darkness vampire game and Vancouver adjacent. The Vancouver sphere is really popping off, so you want to get caught up and check that out. Other than that, yeah, just keep an eye on my Twitter and you'll see what I'm doing. And thanks so much for being here today. Just always a really fun time.
I would agree with that. I always look forward to this every week. Najra.
Hey, I'm Najra from Najra Creations. I'm a professional cosmaker, and I am having a pre-sale for some Critical Role themed hoodies and jackets for Christmas. If you're interested, the link's on the chat or najracreations.com.
Excellent. I did not forget about Amanda. I was just seeing if Steve was paying attention in the Twitch chat for how he was programming for us. Amanda, talk to us.
Amanda, I play Whimsy. Today, I don't do much of interest. I have a Instagram and a TikTok. Both are fairly uninteresting, but balderdashing on both.
Lies.
In fact, you can find me as balderdashing on pretty much every social media where I do very little of interest, but I'm there.
For 500 bits, every 500 bits, Whimsy will do a thirst trap. We decided in Discord before the game began. So there you go.
We decided that.
I decided that. I'm the DM. I get to just decide things.
Yeah. Who's the
Benevolent dictator. Fantastic. We are missing Denny. We are missing Nikki so much this week. She will be back with us playing Denny, our beloved bard, next week. I am Sarah. I am the DM here, and I play the cleric, as Mike said, in the Would Be Heroes game Tuesday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific. I truly am sad that I missed like the one time when my character's organization would be recognized by anybody. That sucked, but it was fun to rewatch, and you can find all of our videos on demand here on the Vancouver by Night channel or through our YouTube. If you like what you're seeing, we would really like to get some character art commissioned. So supporting Vancouver by Night through subscriptions, Patreon, coffee, buying Phandalin by Night gear through our Threadless shop is a good way to show our channel how amazing our supporters are. And always share the link and let people know that you're enjoying watching it. And Extra Life is coming up. Our Extra Life 24-hour charity stream is coming up on Saturday, the 27th. I'm starting us off with a 3-hour special one-shot for the friends and family members of our D&D players on the channel here. So you can find us at 9 a.m. Pacific on the 27th. And I think that's it for us. Thank you to Lodame, who created our theme music. And we will see you guys next week. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Yes, please stick around for the raid to the Nat 30s. So please show them some love as we raid over them and give them some views. So stay tuned for the raid, and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.